Another great show for you at Vineyard Sessions. We've got Eugene Hamilton and The Money. Now, this is a big sound and a big band. Great performance. We're rocking with the City Sharps. They're going to sit down, have a chat, and of course play for us, and so much more. Now, this is really special. Hope you enjoy the show.
1, 2, 3. We're on the couch at the Vineyard Sessions. Telling Tony all our confessions. Come on.
Hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? Oh, I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire, baby. I'm on fire. All right. Come on out, baby, is he good to you? Can he do all the things that I can do? Oh, I can take you high. Oh, I'm on fire, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, cut a 6-inch valley through the middle of my soul, through the middle of my soul, through the middle of my soul, through the middle of my soul. Now I wake up with the sheets soaking wet and a freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cure my desire. Oh, I'm on fire. I'm on fire, baby. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. Yeah, I'm on fire.
On the couch once again, Vineyard Sessions, and Eugene Hamilton and The Money just performed for us. Great sound, big band. Wow.
Thank you so much, Tony, and thanks for having us on this wonderful show.
Yeah. How'd you get the band together? Where'd you get all these guys from?
Well, I've gathered them over the years from various other bands. Marty Lubrin on guitar and Colin Snape on keyboards. I played with them in the Stone Cold Boners for many years. Chris Parahar on the bass and Tibor Japyas on the trumpet.
Yep.
Were just delivered to me from heaven.
Yep.
On a silver platter.
You put it out there and it came back, and all of a sudden, you had a bass guitarist at your doorstep.
Yeah, and we normally have a larger lineup than this. This is just a small little band to fit in here. We got Hayden Meggett plays the drums with us. So does Hedda Moses. We use quite a few musicians. We normally have a big brass section. John McCall is another guy who plays regularly and on the recordings and gigs, and so it's kind of a bit of a community that we've got.
Okay.
Eugene Hamilton.
It's a pretty hot ticket playing with Eugene Hamilton all the same. They want to play with you, don't they?
Yeah, I don't charge them a lot.
Yeah.
To play with me. Trinkets, jewels. I tell you what, a packet of Monte Carlos goes a long way with these.
Now, what
simple
you do to a song, you take a song that we all know and that we're all familiar with, you break it down, you reinvent it, and then you totally do it in your own way. Tell me when you started doing this to music. This is incredible what you do.
Look, it's not like it's our or my idea to do this sort of song. Other people have done it before, but I think to do it consistently from completely different genres to other completely different genres, you have to have a very skilled, talented and flexible band. there's this, you know, you can take, like, let's do a whole lot of songs and let's turn them all into big band swing songs. It's like a set and forget. We'll just put them into that. But we do things like we take a Kylie Minogue song, do it as a wild Hungarian gypsy klezmer kind of thing. We do a Divinal song as if it's a Motown song, and the stuff you just heard, you know, Bruce Springsteen like Elvis, AC/DC like Peggy Lee.
Incredible.
It's, you know, there's also some misses along the way. There's some that just really don't work.
Look, I find when I hear a song rearranged, and especially like the AC/DC one, for instance, you hear the song and you it's familiar, but you can't recognise it until maybe you get the major chorus. Do you find that an expression on your audience that you're playing a song and then you go, aha, now they've got it.
Yeah, you can see, you can kind of, some people get it straight away. Like if you're a big fan of AC/DC, you know every lyric and you know every song. As soon as it starts, you go, oh my God, that's touched too much.
Yeah.
But other people are going, you can see them, their mind thinking, or often they've got no idea that it's a song they've ever heard before.
Yeah.
They think it's a Peggy Lee song,
Yep.
and then they hear the chorus, and you can see the little light go off in their heads. Sometimes it's and that's kind of a nice moment to witness as a performer, to see that little ping moment in the audience.
And tell us about the single that you're promoting at the moment. And just I know we're just talking about it, but just tell us a little bit more about it.
Right, like everything Eugene Hamilton does, it's kind of big and bold and brassy. It's a version of the Bruce Springsteen song "I'm on Fire," but we've recorded it as best as we can, as if it was recorded by Elvis Presley.
Yes.
Live via satellite from Hawaii. So we've got a big brass section in there. I've got Linda and Vicar Bull singing backing vocals to get this Sweet Inspirations kind of sound for the choruses. And so that's that. And it's kind of like, you know, it's not until you hear it that you realise whether we've pulled it off or not. And I think we have.
Yeah, you do.
And then the B-side is a sort of a smoky, loungy, Peggy Lee, Fever style kind of version of A Touch Too Much, the AC/DC song.
And what about influences in your career? I mean, no doubt Elvis would have been a big influence, but just give me a rundown of some of the influences that got you into music.
Well, I'm kind of a musical chameleon. Over my career, I've sort of played all sorts of stuff. You know, I like heavy metal.
Yep.
I like country and western, and I love funk.
Yep.
And I actually love disco.
Yep.
Genuine disco music. And I kind of just, you know, quality is quality. It's like saying, I'm only going to eat Asian food, or I'm only going to eat Indian food.
Yeah, good one.
You know, I just love to take everything in, and I suppose that's why, with a ear like that, when you get to this point where you're trying to do this experiment with all these different songs, I've kind of got all that stuff swimming around in here.
Yep.
And the band is sort of educated enough and, you know, professional enough to pull it all off, and there they go.
There they go. There goes the band.
You know, they can actually do it. I can go, listen, guys, I've got this idea, I want to do that. And they go, yeah, all right, let's do it. Bang, and they do it.
Okay.
God bless them.
Yeah. So for all our viewers out there that want to see you guys perform, what have you got coming up where they can come and see you?
All right, we're launching this single at Mimo, which is the Ackland Street RSL, just out the back there.
Great room.
On October the 24th.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful new Art Deco, huge. It's run by the people who run the Caravan Club. It's got the same kind of atmosphere, the same kind of vibe.
Yep.
Same kind of, quality. So October the 24th at Mimo, you can book tickets on their website. We've got the song up on SoundCloud, Eugene Hamilton and the Money, I'm on Fire. If you want to find that, that's pretty easy to find. And your entry actually covers the single. You get a copy of the single with your entry price. And I'll be giving out Monte Carlos on the night as well. You know,
it's a toss-up between Monte Carlos and shortbread creams for me.
But shortbread creams aren't called Monte Carlos.
Oh, true. It's got the name. It's the name. It's the Monte Carlo. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on the couch here at Vineyard Sessions. Eugene Hamilton and the Money. Don't forget they've got his new single out, I'm on Fire, and catch them at the Memo Lounge. Thanks so much. Back with more after this break. Welcome to the Vineyard, one of Melbourne's most iconic music venues, with great entertainment every night of the week. From DJs, live bands, great food, and a great place for a coffee. The Vineyard. Hope to see you here. We are on the beat tonight, and we're going to the Paris Cat Jazz Club. We're right out the door. We're going to go in and have a talk to the proprietor and, of course, see what's happening here tonight. Let's go. It's my pleasure to introduce Serge Carnovale here from the Paris Cat Jazz Club. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Interesting building, over 3 floors. Firstly, how long have you been here for?
We've been here 10 years now. We opened in 2005, and it's been very challenging but exciting at the same time.
The jazz feel, it reeks of it walking around here. Did you go over to Paris and did you copy this from anything over in Paris? Because it's very unique.
The inspiration for the club was basically to pay tribute to the post-war clubs of France. They've got an amazing scene over there, over 40 jazz clubs in Paris, and so I had a look around, and there's some beautiful clubs, and certainly, it inspired me to come to Melbourne and do something similar.
Now, with the feel of the place and the amount of work that you've done, give me an idea of the amount of work that you had to do to get it to the way you wanted it from when you originally took it over 10 years ago.
Well, basically, when we acquired the space, the building was completely empty. We started in the basement, which was the first room that we set up, put in a stage and a bar and everything else. We started in the basement. I think we did about 2 years there. Then we came up to the gallery and we needed another area, and we set this up. And recently, or actually in fact January this year, we opened up our loft on the 3rd level.
Now, with all the different levels that you've got here, the 3 levels, does that mean you have different acts on each level, or do you predominantly have one downstairs, one upstairs, the loft, or how does it work? Well,
Generally we do around 10 gigs a week at the club. On a Friday and Saturday we feature 3 shows. So you can come and see a 7 o'clock show in the basement, an 8:30 show up in the loft, and then back down downstairs at 9:30 for our late, what we call our late show. So 3 shows on a Friday, 3 on a Saturday, and 1 or 2 on a Wednesday or Thursday, depending on who's touring.
That leads me to my next question about the following of jazz in Melbourne. It's obviously strong to sustain your business for the last 10 years. Is it getting stronger? Where is the jazz scene going, in your opinion?
Oh, look, we've got a culture in Melbourne where people love the laneways, and this club attracts a lot of tourists. We've seen that grow over the years with our rankings on TripAdvisor and a lot of the reviews we get. So look, it's growing all the time. Unique sort of performing art spaces are a really cool thing to go and visit, and I can only see that getting stronger as we hopefully move into the next 5 or 6 years. Here we are in our basement. This is where it all started. It's a fantastic little space, and last October we had Robbie Williams turn up with his 20-piece big band while they were on tour. We got a call on a Monday afternoon, and they decided they wanted to come in and have a bit of a jam, and so we decided to open up, and one of the security guards walked in and said, "Can I have a look around?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Is everything all right?" And he said, "Yeah, just need to have a look at the exits." And he said, because Robbie Williams is walking down Queen Street.
Mr. Robbie Williams himself, I mean, that must have been a real buzz. What was he like? Is he funny, or did he take place over? Did he go dance on the bar, or was he typical Robbie Williams, or what did he do?
Oh, he was actually on tour with his father, and so he was pretty low key, but a beautiful guy, and just a gentleman. He loved the space and had a great night. Thanked me at the end of it, and we got a couple of really nice tickets to the following night, and we had a fantastic time.
Any other names that come to mind that have been down here that international acts, Serge?
International, we actually, one night I walked in, and I in fact finished doing a gig myself, and I walked in, it was pretty quiet, and I looked over in the corner, and Bob Dylan was sitting there, and I said to my brother, I said, "Bob Dylan's in tonight," and he came downstairs, he said, is he that guy? And I said, "Yeah, that's Bob Dylan." He said, "Oh shit," he goes, "I charged him." That's a true story, but he was lovely too. But look, we had some of the Stings band come in, Michael Bublé, so a lot of the touring guys like to visit the club.
Yeah, I can see why. Look, it's so you put so much work into it, and the place just fits. It reeks of jazz. You know, it's absolutely remarkable place. Once again, thank you so much for sharing us and taking on us a bit of a tour of the Paris Cat Jazz Club. Thanks, Serge.
Cheers, thank you.
The Paris Cat Jazz Club is definitely one of the coolest music venues in Melbourne, located in the back streets of the CBD. Your senses are taken over by the low-key atmosphere and musical vibe that this historic building exudes. The Paris Cat Jazz Club certainly makes you feel like you're in Paris, enjoying the fine wine and music with a touch of romance from a bygone era. Check out the Paris Cat Jazz Club website for upcoming acts. Welcome to the Vineyard, one of Melbourne's most iconic music venues, with great entertainment every night of the week, from DJs, live bands, great food, and a great place for a coffee. The Vineyard. Hope to see you here. We're ready to rock at Vineyard Sessions. We're just waiting on the City Sharps to roll up. Not too sure where they are, but they're going to be around here somewhere, I hope. These guys actually rock. City Sharps, we're waiting for them to roll up. Here, oh my, ho ho ho! The City Sharps have arrived. Let's rock at Vineyard Sessions.
Touch me gently from his dream.
So what a pleasure. We've got the City Sharps with us. How are you, boys?
Very good.
Now let's find out who's who. Shane, vocals. How are you, my friend?
Very good.
We've got Sam, bass.
Hot stuff.
And we've got Frank on drums. And we've got Tony Tone on guitar. Hey, boys, how are we? Thanks for joining us on the couch once again. Now, Sam, you started it off. Just tell me about the Sharpies when you became aware of them. I mean, you were a part of them, weren't you?
Well, I grew up in Geordie. Geordie was a well-known area for breeding sharps. So when I went to Jordanville Tech, it was basically a school for Sharpies, and you know, you got to become part of that whole movement. So that's where my Sharpie roots sort of come from. But what happened probably in the late 90s was, you know, a lot of time passed in school, and you sort of look back and say, well, what happened to that whole Sharpie movement? It was so big during that whole 70s period, and there's nothing around. So I started digging, you know, for some old mates and looking for old connies and shoes, and cut a long story short, there was nothing out there, so I dug hard and put an exhibition together in 2006 in Fitzroy, relating to that whole movement, and it just sort of snowballed from there.
So you're telling me there's a market for it. There's an audience out there for you.
Well, that came later, but we needed to let the people of Melbourne aware that there was an original movement happening in the 70s, which was not just the kids, but it was also the music, the fashion, and people just weren't aware of that.
Do you realise how scary it was for me? Look, I grew up in that area well. I was kind of a surfie. Okay, all right, okay. And I can remember being on the train, and we'd go past Jordanville or Holmesglen, and we would just shit ourselves because you guys would be hanging there, and you'd be just there with your chewing gum, looking real tough. And we were pretty scared of you guys. Was there anything to be scared of?
Well, there were
from the skin, in your day, Shane?
There were no surfies on the Broadie line. I think we bred them all out.
They jumped. They just jumped off the train.
No, but I mean, back in the 70s, I mean, the Sharpies started in the late 60s. It was the first generation, and then the second generation was early 70s, and then the third generation was late 70s. I'd say in the middle 70s, the numbers would have been tens of thousands. Like at every railway station or every corner, there was a group of shops. There was a gang hanging out the front, and they were all sharps. So when Sam was putting this together, it was a matter of basically reminding everybody that they were sharps, because it was one of those things that was pre-punk.
What defined a sharp as well? In part of that is
the attitude was exactly the same as punk. But we were pre that. But the whole idea was basically to be as natural as we could. I mean, we were brought up by our parents saying, stop doing this. I used to have long hair, and then one day I just had it all shaved off. Now that shocked everybody, So we liked the shock value. Especially with the clothing and the dancing. It was all basically, hey, look at me.
Was it fair to say, Frank, it was anti-establishment?
Oh, definitely.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because that's what I felt. You guys wanted to be sort of, the movement wanted to be outsiders. What at the time? Did you feel outsiders when you were Sharpies?
I was more of an outsider because I got into the music side.
Okay.
I put all my energy, instead of hanging around train stations, into practicing and getting my aggression out that way.
And did you find if you went to other people's territory, was it territorial in those days? If you went from Jordanville and you went down you went down to St Albans, or
look, you could go down 2 railway stations and have a fight. I mean, we were in Glenroy. We were always fighting with the other side of town down in Frankston way. So there was long travels, but we also had fights with local gangs. But there'd also be great affiliations with local gangs.
Sure.
Where I was in West Road, then Melbourne Sharps, and I joined Anderson Road, A&A, Oak Park Boot Boys. So, it's like you move on and move on and move on. But the whole thing about the Sharp thing is, unlike punk, it wasn't marketed or sold. Okay. No one owned it. We were all basically individuals in gangs. So it kind of disappeared, and then punk became such a big thing.
Sex Pistols.
And everybody forgot about the Sharp.
Okay.
And so we wanted to remind them that Australia had its own subculture here. Its own music, its own fashion, its own style. Before we got corrupted by everywhere else.
I can remember falling asleep and waking up in Broadmeadows.
Oh, right.
And I've woken up, and I looked at the thing. I thought bread and windows. And I thought, I'm in trouble here.
You're
I
on
got
the
my
wrong
board
side of
shorts
town.
on, and I got all that. Oh, that was the scariest 20 minutes of my life waiting for that train to take back
So
off.
you mean there was a Sharpie on the Sharpie line?
Yes, it
And
was.
you got away from us.
I absolutely shit myself, I can tell you. Okay, now the music you're playing, what impresses me about the music you guys are playing is you're writing your own material and you're kind of reinventing the actual scene, but you're putting it through your own talents and your own style. Tell me about your style that you're playing and writing.
Well, it's what we all grew up in. We all grew up in the glam era when heavy metal first started and the Aussie rock scene really kicked on, you know. The Australian music scene, like Lobby Lloyd, Billy Thorpe, many of those bands at that time were on the rise. So we said, great. We used to go and see local bands and support them, and that's kind of what was in us, that music. Then I went through the punk thing and that, and we were all gone through all different aspects of music, but the original sound is in us.
Okay.
So what we're reproducing now is basically the music that's in our soul.
So that's a raw sound. We know that from that time. You mentioned a couple of bands there. You mentioned Lobby Lloyd, your Billy Thorpes, AC/DC, of course.
Bands, yeah.
They must have been a strong influence on the sound that you've got. Tone, as a guitarist, what were your influences early as a guitarist, early 70s, middle 70s, that led you to be a player?
Jimi Hendrix was my inspiration.
Yep.
I got my Strat, wanted to hang out, rested on my amp and take a walk and let it feedback, and wait for the EPA to come down and close the door again and keep going. So, Hendrix was a big influence. Ray Vaughan, of course, so it sort of stems off the blues side.
Yes.
And, Roy Gallagher, Robin Trower, Johnny Winner, all those old blues players. So
Okay.
they were around when I was learning guitar, so they were like my gods.
Excellent. Frank, as a drummer,
Yes.
what were your influences as a drummer coming through?
Well, I had drum lessons in the early 60s. I was taught by jazz drummers,
Okay.
but I was listening to Hendrix, The Who, The Beatles. So, although I've got a pop rock feel, there is
Yes.
a jazz bent to it.
Yep.
I think gives me a unique.
Excellent.
You should now.
We'll be doing a show, and in the middle of it,
The
they'll all
Connies
start
have been
Sharpie
reissued.
again.
They're
Oh,
remaking
yeah.
them.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So young people have got access to them.
Yeah.
Do you
So
reckon-
they roll up in the gigs.
Yeah.
So we've got these young guys in their 20s and they're Connies
Yeah.
with the attitude. And it's fantastic.
I mean, the original ones are worth hundreds now, so everybody goes out and buys a new one. and
Do you
it's-
reckon I could be a Sharpie?
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Don't touch the hair. Don't touch the hair.
No, I don't think we'd be able to do that
You're
unless
dead,
you
mate.
go really, really short.
You're dead.
I kind of, I'm not a really tough sort of guy. I feel tough around you guys, and I wouldn't mind seeing if I could become a Sharpie.
That was the whole thing about being a Sharp. You didn't have to be a great fighter. All you had to do was be loyal and true to your
A good
craft.
runner.
A good runner.
A good runner.
And basically, we're all everybody
And have a
was there
finger.
to back
You've got to have a
everybody
finger.
else. Oh yeah.
You couldn't be a Sharpie if you didn't have
You
a finger.
do the
could
magic finger.
Yeah.
Or you do the magic fist. Or you
They're usually
you
like
slap
this,
it.
wasn't it?
What about the-
Up yours, mate.
Yeah.
I think it come
the
later.
triple punch? What about
Oh yeah,
the
triple punch. Yeah. You've always got that. There's plenty of things you can do. I'll teach you a little.
Do you reckon you
few
could?
little tricks
I just
there.
want to I want to toughen up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Well, come to our gigs and start doing a few Sharpie dances. I tell you what, that will toughen up your leg.
What if I did I used to go and do the surfy dance.
You're dead, mate.
And
You're
I was
dead.
in big
You're
trouble.
dead. You're dead.
I
You
was in
can
big
do it,
trouble.
but I can't guarantee you walking out.
Hey guys, the City Sharps, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here on the couch at Vineyard Sessions.
Been good
A big
fun.
thanks to Shane, Sam, Tony and Frank from the
Thank
City
you,
Sharps.
Shane.
Look out for their gigs, we'll promote them. Welcome to the Vineyard, one of Melbourne's most iconic music venues, with great entertainment every night of the week. From DJs, live bands, great food and a great place for a coffee. The Vineyard, hope to see you here. Big thank you to everybody for watching Vineyard Sessions. Remember, don't forget to like us, don't forget to share us. Vineyard Sessions, where it's all about artists.
We're on the couch at the Vineyard Sessions, telling Tony